Coach, can you just speak on the
Right.
I get we all had a gut feel of different things, and some of it was generated with the mismatched desire with Irsan and with Whiteside. Some of it was generated because we felt we'd like to pair Amir up with Olynyk, who had a big first half, and look at that matchup. And so, you made the decision, and we were lucky that it helped us. It seems right as we look back on it, and it certainly changed the game for us.
What were you guys able to do in the third quarter when you just shifted everything around?
I mean, we came in at halftime, and we were unhappy with their threes. I think that we're going to see how potent that team is, how well coached they are. They're really hard to guard. And we were unhappy with our turnovers. And we felt like if we could defend better, especially as it related to the three-point line, and we felt like if we could care for the ball more than 10 turnovers, you double that, that's not winning any playoff game, that we would be in pretty good shape. And I believe we had one turnover the entire second half. And I give Ben Simmons, a tremendous amount of credit for making an adjustment to his own game in the second half. But those types of messages we spoke of, they delivered in the third period, to your point, and I think it equaled the result that you saw.
Along those lines on the defensive end, how significant was Covington tonight?
Yeah, that's a great question, sir. I thought he was unbelievable. I thought he was a man. Physically sliding his feet, blocking shots, hands-on balls. He's deceptively strong, and he's so versatile a defensive player, where he can sit down and guard Dragic, or, go over and he may get caught on a Olynyk, and he can guard that too. And, he's such a wonderful story for us because he is a poster child in regards to development. And just trying to find somebody, develop them, give them a chance, went through those rough years. Only Joel has been with me longer, and that's by, not much. And so, yeah, he was fantastic.
Right. Can you just talk about the role that Ersan and Marco played? I mean, the last time you guys played them, it was Ersan's 5th game, Marco's 10th, so they were still getting adjusted. But to me, they were the difference in the game.
Well, they were part of the difference. You could talk about J.J. and then Ben's second half and Robert's defense. I hear your point, Keith, and it's true. Those two had significant games. We were lucky to make some shots. Some of the circus shots that Marco makes is ridiculous. He almost, not even almost, he's the best player I've coached shooting off balance. And he seems to find the rim. And those two players, they made some threes. Irsan was, again, versatile, being able to guard multiple bigs, from Whiteside to Olynyk. The shooting obviously stands out. But, yeah, the inclusion of those two certainly has changed our world.
Brett, there was a point this season where the third quarter was an issue for you guys. That was obviously not the case tonight, and it wasn't really the case in the long winning streak you've had. What are the factors that contributed to that change?
I think just the progressive growth of belief. It sure is easier to cultivate that when you're winning. We're now, I think, 26-1 here at home. Since Christmas, we've won a lot of games in a row, and it just sort of adds up. And we've talked lots about how do you come out of halftime. Lots of times in a normal regular season, it's not uncommon for both teams to have the dust shaken off them to respond and start playing competitive basketball again. And we've sort of built that notion, really tried to talk about that disposition coming out of a halftime. And we have been doing that. Like, I think statistically, if you looked at our third periods, we've been pretty good this final third of the regular season, and tonight there was carryover.
Brett,
Brett, you talked about the crowd. You said it would be loud, and it was. How much energy did that bring the team, especially like in that third quarter?
I mean, just incredible. And the start of the game, you know, you feel it, and then Joel goes out and rings the bell, and you feel it. And it is, there's only one other venue in the country to me, and this is my 17th year traveling around, that even competes with us. And Golden State gets really loud. You know, that really gets loud. And the Philadelphia fans, apart from the vocal side and the volume, there's just, you know, complete passion. You know, you see it. As sometimes I glance up in the crowd and you can just see it. And to have our fans be treated to this season and to get a win, and there's way more to go, way more to grow. You know, we're not getting ahead of ourselves at all. But what a tremendous opportunity for us to give back to them. They were awesome.
Coach, over here, please. Coach, how important is playoff win number one? You've gotten to this point. You've spent a long time trying to get here. How important is playoff win number one?
I wished I could say that. I wished I could say that it's you know, the most significant or incredibly important. They're like your children. Every win you love. And so the next game, I'm going to tell you the same thing. And there is something about playoff winning, for sure, that's different than regular season winning. But to, like, delineate game one as something, it just, we're excited to figure out how to get better. Like, I look at that team, and they are so potent from the three-point line, and their movement is hard to guard. And if you look at, you know, some of the fouls, the volume of free throws they shot, we got to do better there. And it's exciting. Game one is, I'll tell you the same thing for game three. Where I will pivot out of that is a closeout game. And so we're moving on. We're gonna be excited and try to get better in game two.
Two more guys.
Coach, you talked about Marco and Ersan earlier. The offensive improvement over the last 2 months, I mean, are they just a huge part of that? Is it more than just plugging those two sort of skill sets into the foundation that you had already built, or is there something else to how much of a leap you guys have taken offensively?
It's funny when you look at the keys to this series, and so our season ends, you know, you go in a war room for kind of 72 hours, and you figure out a game plan, you deliver a message to the team, and you try to walk that down, and you always hope you get the game plan right so you don't have to make sort of wild adjustments. And we may, you know, who knows if we got it right or we don't. It's too early to say. But when you look back, and I told the team this, what we did the first day of camp is what we needed to win tonight as it relates to your question on offense. Passing the ball, sharing the ball, playing downhill, understanding it's rarely like the magic play in the playoffs. It's always about concepts and spacing and unselfish players. And again, we had 34 assists tonight. That is a massive number in the playoffs. And we share the ball. And the guys like playing with each other. And so when you talk about that, whether Ersan comes in or Marco comes in, that's who we are. That's what we're trying to coach here. And the guys have bought in. We play fast. We look for each other. You know, the three-point shot without Joel has become a real big part of our identity. And, you know, we'll continue to do that. You have to do that or you won't win games when it matters.
Brett, back here, way back, short one. No. I know this is one game and you're kind of in the moment right now, but is there a part of you that allows yourself to feel kind of what it's been like on this whole process you've been here, living for the last 4 or 5 years? A
little tiny part that I won't admit. A small part. It's a little bit, and I really mean that. Like, we for sure, I'd be lying if I said otherwise. But, like, I feel this group has something special in it. We're moving along and we're trending in tremendous ways. I look at the future of our organization with healthy Joel Embiid and improving Markelle Fultz and draft picks and cap space. Like, this is what I feel the most responsible for and excited for. And so to navigate that path, that's a long lens. This little thing we've gone through, and it is big, but it's small in relation to what I just said. Sure, I am excited. I'm excited for our fans and our young team, but there's a lot more coming.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.